Tu catches parfois donc dans la fédération américaine qui est donc la CZW qui parfois fait des matchs hardcore. Tu as fait des matchs hardcore, me semble-t-il. Enfin, j'en suis pas. Hein. Qu'est-ce que ça fait 5 minutes avant de rentrer sur le ring, alors que tu sais que tu vas taper des bumps du haut d'un échafaudage, que tu vas avoir des micados dans le crâne, que tu vas peut-être avoir des punaises dans le dos, etc., etc. Qu'est-ce qu'on pense 5 minutes avant de rentrer?
I saw this motion.
Ouais.
I mean, you know, it's like one of those things, like, I guess you talk about it and then you don't think about it until, and then it happens, you just kind of get sucked in. You're like, yeah, sure, we'll do this, and then you'll do this. It's really like the days before that. Like, it's like leading into it, because like that match that you're talking about at CZW was me and Dave Christ. And we knew for a couple months that we were going to lead to that match. Like a match that was like a really hardcore match. We knew that. We'd been wrestling for 14 months. So we'd been wrestling each other across 2 different promotions, and the feud kind of carried through for over a year. So we knew there was going to be something. And at that time, we had already had a match, an Iron Man match that went 104 minutes. We had 2 out of 3 falls matches. We had other matches that went like a half hour. And
À tes souhaits. Tiens, on se posait la question comment on dit à tes souhaits en anglais.
Just a stupid question. When you chew in English, I don't know how to say that.
God bless you. Sneeze?
Yes.
Sneeze.
We say à tes souhaits.
À tes souhaits.
You tell in English.
Like bless you or God bless you.
Ah, ok. Voilà pour la culture. Revenons au catch. Alors voilà. Ok.
How do you say, what do you say in French? À tes souhaits.
À tes souhaits.
À tes souhaits. Cool. No, I know. Yeah. What do we think? Again, like it's really leading up to that, and you kind of would be like, well, I'm gonna do some dumb stuff today. You know, like I know you're gonna, and you just kind of you don't think about it until really afterwards, and then like 2 weeks after that match. I was driving in my car. And I my head was scabbed from the skewers.
I'm so stupid.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh man, this is never going away. And I kind of could this one scab felt like really weird. I was like, oh man. So I started like kind of like pushing, and then all of a sudden like pushed it together, and a piece of wood came out. There was still wood stuck in my head.
C'est fou parce que alors les mecs qui s'envoient à travers le barbelé et le verre, quoi, c'est fou, quoi. Ils doivent avoir des lendemains difficiles, quoi.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, those guys. A lot of my friends have done death matches, or a lot of my friends are death match wrestlers, where they do light tubes or glass or like giant falls and barbed wire tables and fire and cinder blocks. I was in a match with cinder blocks just recently. I had a cinder block on my chest, and someone double stomped me. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. I couldn't do that all the time. No way. And so more power to him. Like one of my best friends in the world is Masada. Masada's like one of the best deathmatch wrestlers, one of the best wrestlers, period, like ever. I think he's one of only 2 men to win or American or non-Japanese men to win a Japanese deathmatch tournament. And the other one is Mick Foley. So it's just him and Mick Foley, and that's it. Yeah, so I mean, I couldn't do what he does, like how he does it all the time, you know. And he was the first person ever to give someone the skewers. So it was Masada's thing, was the skewers, and because I'm like his little brother, he gave me the permission to use the skewers.
Pour toi, faire des deathmatch, c'est de la folie ou du courage?
A little of both. You know, because like wrestling's an art, right? So, if you have something that builds to that moment where it feels right and it's just the right thing to do, and then there's a good story behind it, and it's just something that you can put it together, and it's art, and it can be beautiful in that way. You know, it's awesome. And if you just have 2 guys that it just makes sense, you know, and it's so when it gets to that point, I'm all about the artwork, you know, and it's definitely crazy, and I guess you gotta have some kind of courage for it, but the answer's probably a combination of both, but you gotta be a little stupid too, a little stupid, a little brave, and you know.
Il faut être sado ou pas alors?
Justement, c'est la prochaine question.
Justement, c'est pour ça. Ouais, je sais.
I guess like in a way you have to kind of be into it, you know. CZW breeds that kind of just that feeling, you know, like you're in front of so many death matches, and that crowd is there's a lot of people that are very bloodthirsty in that crowd, where they want to see blood, they want to see violence, they want to see that stuff. But not everybody does it. And CZW sure is, obviously it's known for its death matches and for its hardcore and for its ultra violence, but there's so much good wrestling in CZW, like not just ultra violent, but throughout its history, you know, guys like Trent Acid and guys like B-Boy.
C'est important de le souligner d'ailleurs.
Yeah, and guys like Chris Hero and Jimmy Rave, and like these guys, yeah, they might have done death matches at some point, but they were really just great wrestlers. Look at Best of the Best, like the history of Best of the Best, like Ruckus and all these guys, like they had everybody. Roderick Strong was in Best of the Best. Christopher Daniels was in Best of the Best. Like there is so much good history. A.R. Fox, Sami Callihan, Adam Cole, just more recently like that. Like, there's Tommy End wrestled in CZW a bunch. Jonathan Gresham. Just so many great wrestlers come from CZW, and we're very fortunate to have that, you know. And it's cool to have the balance of both. But that crowd definitely can be a little bloodthirsty, and the environment kind of takes to itself. You know, maybe you're a little more willing to give it. Because the crowd's awesome, you know, they're just great, and they love it, and you begin to love it, and you kind of have this relationship with the art form.
Ok. Et tu travailles également, que ce soit aux États-Unis ou en Europe. Donc je pense que c'est différent probablement, que ce soit en backstage ou que ce soit in-ring. Est-ce que, si différence il y a, est-ce que tu pourrais nous en parler un petit peu?
What do I prefer? I don't think I could say I prefer one. Everyone's awesome, you know. I love wrestling everywhere. The places that are, if there's fans that are willing to pay money to see me perform, or they're just willing to come out and take their time and watch me do what I do, I always appreciate that. And that goes for whether I'm in England or in Germany or here in France, or if I'm in Switzerland or Canada, whatever, you know. Like,
Japan?
Yeah, like wherever I'm at, it's great to perform there. The differences, I mean, the main difference is that European crowds come up with songs.
Vas-y, j'ai envie de comprendre. Vas-y.
They come up.
En fait, on est moins chaud quand même que les Américains niveau ambiance, quoi.
They come up with songs like whenever I'm in Germany or in the UK, all of a sudden fans start singing.
Ah mais en France, des fois, tu pourrais te tuer.
They're not like all rowdy and craziness.
It's not like the United States.
Fake.
No, I mean, like it's always good. Wherever you go, as long as there's passionate people there and there's wrestlers that are there that can, that can really bring it, you know, and that's all the fans want to see. The fans pay money or come out, spend their time to come see a good performance, and the wrestlers, it's up to us to give it to them. So wherever you're at, doesn't matter. It's the same business, right? It's all the same. Like they want to come see a great performance, and we have to give it to them. So the difference is, I mean, again, like the European crowds sing a little bit. Like it seems like that. Like there's definitely rowdy crowds in the States, and there's also crowds that are like not so hot all the time. But it's the same thing in Europe. Like we wrestled this past weekend when I did WXW. It was like two different crowds, two shows. I was in Munich. And in Munich, the crowd was like super rowdy, right? They were just like all into everything the whole time, like making noise. And then the next day in Waldkraiburg, it was like they were just like watching, and they would react and stuff, but they were just real quiet. It was like watching a Japanese wrestling show. You know, those fans are real quiet and they just watch, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Ouais.
You know, so everyone's different, you know, and you have to be able to adapt to your crowd, and that takes the talent of a good worker to be able to do it.
En France, c'est comme ça. Après, en Europe, je sais pas, mais peut-être que le public européen vient voir un spectacle, quel qu'il soit, alors qu'une audience américaine vient voir du catch et connaît très bien ses codes, ce qui fait peut-être plus d'ambiance.
Yeah, there are crowds in America that aren't like super rowdy all the time, and then there's some crowds that are, and there's some crowds that are kind of like in between, and there's some crowds that you have to bring it out of them, and there's some crowds that even if you try your hardest, they're just gonna sit there and be like, whatever. It's just it really depends. It all varies, and obviously you want to see people that they came to a show and they're expecting good wrestling and they're like really excited for it. But there's times, man, like I'll tell you, CZW crowds can be real tough on people sometimes. Like if they come and if they don't have high expectations for the show, sometimes they'll come there and they'll just go there just to say, like, to be like, it sucks, like, yo, you're terrible. Like they'll come there just to heckle, and you got to deal with that, and then you got to bring the best out of them. You got to do your best to make them want to go nuts for something,
Ok.